Marijuana farms in Mexico are in trouble. And they're in trouble, financially speaking, because of the increase in legalization in the U.S. So the International Business Times reports on this, quote, small-scale Mexican marijuana farmers say the loosening of marijuana laws across the U.S. has increased competition from growers north of the border and could put them out of business. They used to get $100 per kilogram for their illegal crops, but that price has crashed to just $30 per kilogram in the last 4 years. So they describe in the article that they tried everything to get the farmers to stop growing weed, including just paying them to grow legal crops. The Mexican government would pay them to grow things other than weed, but nothing worked. They kept growing weed because they made more money growing weed than from anything else. But what's the thing that finally made them slow down and it's finally making them turn away from this? Liberalizing the laws in the U.S. Now, obviously, on a federal level, marijuana is still illegal, and that needs to be changed, absolutely. But state by state, now we have Colorado, now we have Washington, now we have Alaska to some extent. We have places that are saying, we're going to go ahead and stop being stupid. So that makes it so that you don't have to go only to the black market and get it from people who provide the product from over the border in Mexico. Now, again, it gets weird because the laws are still up in the air because federal law overrides state law. So at the state level, it's legal in some places, but at the federal law, it's still illegal. So there are growing operations that are kind of still underground, kind of, and they have to be careful about what they do. They don't want the feds getting onto them or whatever. But there are more growing operations in the U.S., and as a result of that, in Mexico, now some of the people who grow marijuana are saying, okay, we can't do it anymore. But there's another angle to the story as well. They say the legal market for marijuana in the U.S. grew from $1.5 billion to $2.7 billion between 2013 and 2014, but that figure still is dwarfed by illegal sales of pot. This has caused Mexican drug cartels to shift their trade away from marijuana towards illicit hard drugs like heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine. So some people are getting out of the drug business completely, but others are like, all right, weed ain't cutting it anymore because they're legalizing that in the U.S., so we're losing all of our money on that product. So what should we do? Heroin? Methamphetamine? Cocaine? Gotta make money, gotta make a living, am I right? So, but think about it, guys. What does this prove? I love how it proves something here, and the establishment right over their head. They just don't get it. They don't stop and think about it. And also, they're paid to not acknowledge it because, there are many powerful forces that want to keep all these drugs illegal. Pharmaceutical companies, alcohol companies, they view it as competition. But what they don't realize is, hey, wait a second. We've been waging a war on drugs. We're going after the cartels. You just figured out the key to crushing the cartels. You crushed the marijuana trade coming from Mexico. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. And they're like, let's not acknowledge that, and let's still be slow to move in the direction of legalization. But if you just use logic, you find out very quickly, hey, legalizing it made them have to move away from selling this drug. If we legalized, taxed, and regulated all the drugs, the cartels, their business model would collapse.